Inside OverVue, we've integrated pull planning. Pull planning is starting with the end in sight and working your way backwards, asking what needs to be true for this task to start. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Colin. Welcome back to the channel. I just gave you a quick rundown of what it looks like to build a project inside of OverVue from scratch using pull planning. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper inside of OverVue here. We're going to check out deliverables versus work breakdown structure, the visual clarity, and a few of our cool features that we've implemented, such as dynamic critical path, resource leveling, our templates, and also possibility planning. Let's dive into it. Thanks for watching. You can see here, I've started on the right-hand edge, and I'm starting to build tasks with dependencies towards the left, which is actually the start of the project. Each task is created individually, and dependencies are verified with all other existing tasks inside the project, making for a much more accurate schedule. So what you're looking at here is a project flow diagram. This is our schedule inside of OverVue, and we have a detailed view, which you're looking at right now, as well as a summary view. So if I zoom out, this is a list of our different deliverables. So we have 4 different colors, and I'm just going to bring up that deliverable list here. So this is a very basic 33 task project on a new performance and facilities report. And so these deliverables are going to be the large chunks. It's a little bit different than your work breakdown structure. And what you can do now, so very similar to if you're familiar with Miro or Figma with the zoom in approach. So we could see the color coded deliverables. We zoom into a detailed view, and I can zoom in as close as this that you see here. This is a 1-week timescale diagram. So each of these guidelines, I'm just going to turn on and off right now. They're off. Each of those guidelines that you see there, those represent 1 week in duration. So we have our start milestone right on this beige line here. And so we're looking at is a 24-week project. So we can see 24 weeks out, 23 weeks to the finish, 22, 21, so on and so forth. And moving all the way to the right, this is basically when you're finished your project. The orange date line that you're looking at here that goes right down from the top to the bottom of the screen, this is our date line. So this cannot be moved. This is a time clock that just goes along your project. So at any given point, you can see what's coming up in the next week or what you should be really working on. And I'm going to go back to the views for a sec. So I showed you summary and now we're detailed. Instead of having a data column on the left with your rows of information, all the data resides inside of each task. And it just makes things a lot easier so we can use the full screen for the actual schedule, and it's just more visually appealing. So I have my title here. Info, if I need to have a checklist of some sort. My deliverable, and choosing which deliverable this task here is associated with, and then obviously duration, and that can be manipulated however you like. And then our resources. So in here I have general manager, admin manager, and those are coming up from a resource list above. So we've just have in this demo plan for you guys today, just a general manager and admin manager. What you're seeing as well as these solid lines and dotted lines. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so you can see this. So we have performance report, task number 7, that is associated with performance report deliverable. Devise a performance measuring system for original and new facilities. This is a 2-week task. So we're measuring the duration of each task from the solid line. So the start of this task would be on the left-hand edge here. And we count, again, the guidelines, right? So one week here, 2 weeks in duration is our solid line. The dotted line is our float. commonly referred to as drag or slack. So this is a very visual way to see the available float downstream. And if you want to make changes, you can see what's coming up also downstream as well. These tasks, again, this is very different from Microsoft Project or P6, so I'm not putting in a data field to the left. These can be manipulated and moved around. As you can see, this is not allowing me to move this task number 7 past this task here because it is a successor of this task. And same thing with over here, collect baseline data. We have a dependency link here, but I can manipulate my float if needed. So this is very important when things change and you're overdue on a certain task. What are you going to do with that task? Are you going to throw more resources at it? Are you going to change the float? And so this is a very easy and a dynamic way to visualize how you can make those changes on a day-to-day basis. So again, I'm not changing the duration of the task. I'm just manipulating the start date of the task, as well as when I do so, I'm manipulating the float drag or slack, if you will. So in OverVue, we only have columns. As you can see, I set the date line above. So this is counting weeks out, 23 weeks out. And there's no rows. So when I was moving this task up and down, this does not make any change. If I'm moving this task up and down in this column, that does not make any change to your schedule. It just allows for more flexibility to see and understand where all your dependency links or ties, predecessors and successors are in your schedule. So you're not going to have this long cascading waterfall effect. Well, let's move to critical path because this is one of the big things that matters a lot to people in construction, especially. We're calculating the critical path for the least amount of float from start to finish. This could be with float, or this can not be with float. So very easy to see where your critical path is. We can zoom in here to, we're starting at screen senior level applicants, moving to interview senior level applicants, delay for senior staff to arrive, and then moving along to train senior staff off-site, conduct on-job training, and then collect data on new facilities, and then the final 2 tasks, prepare a comparative performance report, conduct a review process. So you can see the critical path here. We do not have any float in this particular instance. If I were to grab let's say this task, and maybe I'm changing the float in it, you can see that my critical path changed, right? So moving back to the original space, here's my critical path. If I were to start this task earlier, now my critical path changes. You can also view your critical path as a look ahead. Let me just choose a different date. Okay, so now I had the date line is moved, right? And now you can see you don't have 1, but now you have 5 critical paths. So there is no float from today's date line on the orange line on any of those paths leading to your final task. Next, I'm going to show you resource leveling. So in this demo, I mentioned we have 2 basic resources, our general manager and mid manager. If you see, we've set a limit to 75%, meaning that they can not be on any single task or inside this project for 75% of their time. This can be a number if you wish. It could be a number of hours. But what really is cool about this is if I turn on resource conflict detection, now I can see here in column 20 and in column 18, I have some conflicts. So we've overstaffed both of these resources, and I'm going to single in on the general manager. And as soon as I do that, you notice that all the other tasks in the project fade out, so we can just concentrate on this conflict with the general manager. So we're showing all the tasks that this general manager has been assigned to. So we see some down here. And then the conflicts are going to be in the column that's been highlighted red. So there's a couple ways to do this. I can go in and change the limit of the general manager, or I can change the schedule. So what we're going to do is devise performance measuring system for original new facilities. This task, I have the general manager at 75%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to force move this task. And now you can see that resource conflict is gone. So again, more flexibility inside here to see, for one, where these resource conflicts are, and to manipulate the schedule visually, so we can get rid of these conflicts and make sure your schedule's on point. And if I go to admin manager, conflict in 20 weeks out with task, what is this, task 30? And then also task 24 at the bottom. So again, I'm force moving, and you can see the task. There's a predecessor task here. Let me just stop this view for a sec. I'm actually going to move this task as well when I force move. Let's go back to the admin manager, and we have no more conflicts. So that's resource leveling. You guys can see this view here. We can also isolate that view with your deliverables, right? Performance report at staff. And again, there's only 4 deliverables here, but take into account if you have 15 deliverables or a larger amount, and you need to see these concentrated areas of your schedule. It makes it quite easy to do so. I'm going to show you now our lookaheads. So we've been asked this from a few people in the construction industry. You know, this is the 33 task project. We've gotten higher into 200 tasks, 250, and a lot of times people just want to see the tasks that are in a given time frame. So this is the look ahead. So our date line here is the orange. Let's choose, I'm going to choose from this point. As you can see, this goes gray. Let's do a 6-week look ahead. So this would be on the 7th, pardon me, this is the 7th week out. And again, these are all the tasks that are going to be in this time frame. All the other tasks that are not in this time frame will fade out, and this can be manipulated as well if you wanted to go obviously longer than 6 weeks. Maybe we want 7. Let's go to 9 because I can see 2 tasks here at the end. Right, so here's our 9-week look ahead, or even look behind if needs be. We can bring that here. So 5-week look behind, all the tasks. And why don't I just go back to the look ahead, as that's one way we can export information. So 5-week look ahead, and what I'm going to do here is I can export only filtered tasks. I want to include the title info, start date, duration, predecessors, task ID. Let's say done. And now this is a CSV document. The document can be uploaded into other project planning software, right? So here, again, deliverables title of the task, the info inside, the duration of all these tasks, predecessors, resources used. Again, the demo plan, we didn't fill in all the resources for this task, but I think you guys understand the picture here. So very easy to export a look ahead, or even export the whole entire project to a different project planning or scheduling software. I'll show you guys possibility planning. So this is for what if scenarios. So typically how we work is we'll build out a baseline schedule. We're looking at a baseline schedule right now. If I go over here to live plan, I'm going to make a snapshot of the baseline. So I'm going to take this baseline here. Let's put that into a possibility plan. And now this is my possibility plan. So right now, live plan and possibility plan are the same. But now the possibility, I can move anything around I want. Very easily. And this is going to be saved in here. So you can do that however many times you like. Typically, there's multiple correct ways how to do one thing. And this is a visual way how to understand what's going to be a better option for you. When you find out the better option, we can take this possibility, and I'm going to put that into the live plan. Moving forward, I want to show you guys templates. So what we've done is, again, this is a baseline schedule. We've come to notice there's a lot of patterns that come up when working on projects. You'll see a series of deliverables and tasks that will be all interconnected, intertwined to one another, and they're repeating themselves throughout the project. So what we can do now is take a template. So I can select X amount of tasks. I'm going to go to template and now download that as a template. So this is saved in your back end. That template can be pasted inside of OverVue in this project. It can be also pasted inside a different project. And I can upload that, and you can see this template here, where all the logic has been saved, all the dependencies that are within the actual template are saved, and this can be moved around again. And I'm just going to paste it here for the time being, but you can see we just duplicate things very easily, keep the logic if you need it in this plan or in another plan. We use this with one of our project managers that was building a 9-story apartment building. He was the concrete foreman, and every level you could see the pattern in his schedule. If I'm adding a task inside of any project, I'm going to select the task, and we're going to choose the deliverable duration very easily. And here's our task. We can move that anywhere we want. Okay. You can add multiple dependencies on any tasks, like so. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you guys watching. Comment below if you wanted to ask me any questions regarding any of our features in there. I'm happy to answer them or make a future video on anything that wasn't super clear. Again, we're OverVue Planning Systems. We are a project scheduling software startup based out of Canada. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.